Okay, all righty.
All right. Good evening, everybody. We are live on YouTube with our dear friend Sandy Levey-Lunden, and she has been doing some wonderful programs for us. It's been so helpful to have her here, and there's a lot of folks who have participated in her programs so far that have really gotten a lot of good. So I am so excited to have you here, Sandy Levey-Lunden. The mic is all yours.
Okay, so I'm very happy to be here, and this is part two of a program that I did maybe 2 weeks ago. It was about 2 weeks ago, Lynn? Or could it be a
I
little
think it's been
longer?
3 weeks, 3 weeks
Three
ago.
weeks ago, and I talked about the holy relationship. And today I finished doing a holy relationship session just before we started into this with a couple. So, this, I think it's my favorite thing to talk about in A Course in Miracles is the holy relationship process. So I'm going to ask people before we start, do they remember anything that I said or what they know from the book about what are the conditions or the principles that have to be present in a holy relationship? Would anybody like to say one? Anybody? Okay. What do you remember what I said was the most important thing that we need another person for? Anybody remember? And remember from the book? Okay. So the most important thing, the whole book says this in maybe a couple of places, that we need another person to confirm truth and go over what is truth, or when someone's in their ego, to actually say that they are in their ego or that is not the truth, in the sense that we're actually confirming one important thing with our partner always, which is innocence. Innocence. So innocence is the most important thing that we're confirming when we hold the space or when we're in relationship with anybody. Innocence. Okay. So we actually need another person, because all day long we actually forget in many cases and enter our ego and believe what we're thinking, feeling, or projecting, like I'm alone, or I am guilty because I did this wrong, or I'm upset because this person doesn't like me anymore. So when we enter one of these egoic scenarios, then we actually need another person to actually help us see that that's not the truth and actually tell us that. We're in the ego, we're in the illusion. We have to listen very carefully to them, and they have to feel heard and they have to feel understood. But in the end, we've got to get across that they are innocent, and that this is still part of the ego illusion. And how you do that takes a lot of tact sometimes. We have, I'd say, 5 different things that are important in a holy relationship. And I'm going to say what they are to remind people. We talked about this time. First of all, that I look over there and I'm in relationship with someone or even a group of people like you are here, and I'm seeing in you the divine, the true nature, who you really are. Not what picture you present to me, but your true nature. So that's really important, that I'm engaging with you in the light of you, in the love of you. And the other day, probably many of you heard the same thing that I did when we listened to Kamala Harris on TV, when she was talking about her new book, 107 Days. And the end, in 13 minutes into the interview, she said, "We are in dark times. And the most important thing for each of us to do now is to focus on the light within and the light within everyone else." And I thought that was so Course in Miracles, and such an important thing that we each focus on the light within. So in the other person, we're focusing on the truth, no matter what we see. And that can be very trying at times, because we might want to believe the ego. We might want to collude with them, that their mother did give them a hard time and therefore they are damaged. Whatever story that they're telling us, their purpose is always to draw us into their ego so they can believe it and then be stuck in it. So our job is always to believe nothing from the ego mind of our other partner. And their job is to believe nothing that I say. They might listen, they might be compassionate, they would be understanding, but not to believe it's a truth and that it's something within my process to let go. So that's the first condition. that I see them as God-like, and that they see me as God-like, and that we're in a divine connection of two God beings, and that my job in it is to confirm truth and help them release illusion in whatever way I'm going to do it. The next part is that we have a joint purpose, and we both know what it is. The joint purpose of these two people that were here in life partnership a couple of hours ago, for 2 hours, say, is to share in God's love and demonstrate God's love wherever they go and be a living example of God's love. And that's a very clear purpose, and it's very clear for everybody to remember it. And I remember their purpose. So it's very important to have a clear purpose that you both want to have. What the book would call, A Course in Miracles would call a joint purpose that we both agree to, tacitly, or maybe even one person's holding the space of it. But in general, a pure holy relationship done the way I teach it in my process is that we both agree to something that we both want and create a joint purpose. And that we agree that everything else is the process, because that's really what it is. It's not just the destination that's important, it's the journey, how we get there. So that we agree to be in an equal partnership, each one teaching and learning from each other, and that we're both teachers and we're both learners, and that we're equal. I don't know anything more than you do, because you have certain characteristics that you know more of, and then I have the same thing, because we have different learnings, but it's an equal partnership based upon our equality of spirituality. Because as spiritual beings, we're equal. We're love beings. We're light beings. We're choice beings in the sense that we can choose love or peace or joy or freedom. So we have equal choice in it and equal partnership, and that we agree to turn our relationship over to the Holy Spirit to use for healing. And that when we join in this holy relationship, we're healing all relationships that we've had in the past, if we're going to be fully committed to the joint purpose, which is in eternity. It's not even of this world. It's written in eternity, which means if I die, it's still going on. If I would get a divorce, it's still going on. It's not of this world. It's of who we are as spirit beings. And that the holy relationship is the living example of the holy relationship is the Holy Spirit inside the holy relationship. The Holy Spirit lives in the holy relationship. It's his home. And Holy Spirit will direct it in any possible way that healing has to go. And whenever we need help, we can ask Holy Spirit to come to our aid in any moment to show us how to let go of what our ego is feeling or the dissension between us and bring peace. We can actually hold hands and ask the Spirit for that. So these are the most important parts that I study and have lived in the holy relationship. Would anybody like to ask a question about this or make a comment? Can you call on people if they have their hand up? So John was in the holy relationship training, I think more than once, John Sunday. You would like to say anything about it?
Well, I would like to tell you that I love you so much, Sandy.
Me too. Me too. I'm so happy to see that you're on the call and that you're still alive with me here in this world.
Oh yeah, no. You rock. We did a holy relationship. That was divine. Everything is over the top. You changed my life, and just these ideas to have them revisited now and again, just to tweak up those brain cells again. It's so exciting, and I love to hear this all over again. And live it more and more, become more and more a part of my life. So thank you, Sandy. I love your smile, and I love you.
I love you too. I love you too. And I will always remember those trainings that we had in the holy relationship that you held. And recently I saw Paul Goodsmith also and Jane Tippy. And they were with me in Vancouver, Canada. So some of our friends that were in this holy relationship training. Okay. Does anybody want to ask anything or say anything about what I've said so far?
Robert has his hand up.
Okay, yeah, Robert.
I'll tell you, Sandy, I vaguely remember that part of the process was for us to write out our joint purpose. Am I remembering correctly?
Yes. When we came up with the purpose, we actually had each person write down what they thought their purpose was. And then we came together and they each read what they thought it was. And then they talked back and forth to create it, to see that they both had a purpose that they felt inspired by. This is a really important word. that it's not just something we made up that means nothing here, but that it inspires me, and it inspires me every day to want to live this purpose and be in this relationship with you. That's exactly right. And these purposes are so different because I have examples of them. And maybe I can actually send that to you so people can see, because I have a manual that goes like 60 pages in this course. It might even be longer. But I have a whole list of them. And I took like 3 or 4 trainings over many years and listed all the purposes that I heard them say. So I might be able to send that. You have to think about it. Mm-hmm. That's exactly right, though, Robert. Anybody else? So I want to say something about a man I met many years ago. And he was one of my favorite students. And he came to every training while he was alive. He must have died at 95, and he actually was a psychiatrist. And he's one of those few Course in Miracles psychiatrists that were alive for many years that studied, the Course really deeply. And his name was Hans-Jürgen Gerlach. And he had a secretary that was like 10 years younger. And he traveled everywhere I went in many parts of Europe when I lived in Sweden for 11 years. And Hans-Jürgen Gerlach always said that the ego is like a dresser drawer, a tall chest, and we're constantly falling from the top of going from the top of our truth into one aspect of these drawers. And it's actually important that there's another person listening and observing and holding the space to actually make you aware in certain ways that you have fallen into this drawer and confirm who you really are and be there for you. So he was delightful to be with. He went everywhere with me, and he wrote down every word that I said. I've never seen anybody do anything like that. Today you could record it, but he wrote it down. So his analogy is very important because this is going on all day. And if we have a disagreement with somebody we're in relationship with, if we thought about it, what the actual essence of it, and I work with that today, is that the disagreement or the dissension that we have, these people have had it for years in other relationships. It's not that it just came up in this relationship. It's been in every relationship in some way. So anything that we come together in our new holy relationship to see that emerges as an ego process, I can actually track it in many different relationships. And the idea about the Holy Spirit living in the holy relationship. And that's so comforting that at any moment we could actually have the Holy Spirit help us if we ask. And one thing we pointed out in the session we have today, the Holy Spirit is not going to help us if we don't ask. He's not going to interfere. God doesn't interfere. We have to ask for help and be open and willing to have it. So asking for help and being open and willing to have it is a very important part of the relationship and the whole process. So we asked last time everybody who thought they had a holy relationship. Remember, it's not necessarily a sexual relationship. It's not necessarily a romantic relationship. I have 2 clients, a mother and a daughter, who have an amazing holy relationship. It can be any 2 people who are aligned in a joint purpose and fully see each other as divine beings, as the first essence that they see, and anything else they see beyond the divine beings is part of the process. Okay, so how many would say they have a holy relationship with someone? Raise your hand. Tell me, how many do we have there, Lynn? Can you count them?
I'm looking here. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 people, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's because some people have their hands up and some people have their, so there's 5 who have their mechanical hands up, and then there are several people who are putting up their physical hands. So 9 or 10, I'd say.
Okay, right. And I remember that last time you were on this call with me, you said, I have a holy relationship with everybody in this community. You remember?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would say that I have a holy relationship with everybody that I meet. In other words, that I'm actually seeing them from light or from their divine essence or from their true nature. No matter what they show me, I'm not looking at them like that. I'm not looking at them from their anger or their sadness or their fear or their guilt. I'm looking at them first from their divine nature. and then I'm looking at everything else. But first I see the divine nature. And my purpose in with anybody is to confirm truth and release whatever is in the ego mind of myself and support anyone else in releasing it. Because my ego mind, if I believe what was in my ego mind, I would live in more in fear and guilt and separation. So my purpose is always to live in truth and confirm truth, no matter what's going on. And that can be very challenging when you're working with people who don't understand A Course in Miracles, because many of us are relating to people all day long outside, and friends and family that have no idea what we're talking about in the formal training that we've had. But at some level, every brother understands this and every sister understands this, because we're all one. We all know who we really are. Even if I pretend I don't, I still know who I really am. Okay, are there any questions? Do we have any hands?
Yes, Rafi has his hand up, and I'm hearing it's is it somebody have a television set
I'm
on?
gonna go check that. Hold on a second.
Okay. I'm checking all my sound things, and I noticed that people on the radio were hearing double feed from another thing, but then I made sure that was off, and thought I was hearing something else in the background. So
Okay, so we have Rocky.
yes, Rafi has his hand up.
Okay,
People ask me, people who are sometimes on a metaphysical path or aren't, will ask me questions or tell me stuff about what's going on with them. And if I share it from the spiritual knowledge that I have, they get it right away, whether they're on the path or not, and I'm able to help them. If it's a non-loving feeling that's come up that needs to be addressed, I show them how to let it go. If it's something they're trying to figure out and they can't, I tell them how, what to, let go of wanting to figure it out, let the answer come from a better place, and how important it is to just love yourself. Because self is love, and if you're loving yourself, you're being who you truly are. And it doesn't matter if they're really steeped in a path toward spiritual enlightenment, or they never even heard of it before. They somehow always get it, and and I've never planned on what I'm going to say. It just comes out naturally. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
yeah, that was very important. And that I feel the same way. How can I always say to myself, whatever they're telling me, because I work, of course, still work as a life coach and a transformational therapist using spiritual principles and my own power of clearing process with my own book. Whatever they're telling me, there is a way that I can get across, I always feel, and I ask Spirit to guide me and tell me what to say if I don't know. How can I get across to these people these principles? Because I'm in their relationship together with them to teach what I know and hear what they have to say, but also to share. So basically, I share with everybody that comes near me, because I say that the Holy Spirit has sent them. And if they weren't sent to me, they wouldn't be next to me and they wouldn't be talking to me. And if I get a space inside of me that I think I'm supposed to talk to this person and share with them, I will approach them and tell them that. I feel like I have something to share with you, or something to say to you, or to get to know you. So I wonder if you'd be open to that. And I give them a choice always, because choice is very important in this. Would you like to talk, or would you like to say a few words together, or share something? So every person that I meet, I feel is being directed by Holy Spirit, and I feel exactly as you, that I'm here to share what I know. So basically, I'm in doing this all day long from the moment I wake up, wherever I am. Even if I have a telemarketer, I always listen. Should I talk to this person in a real way? It's just where I'm coming from, that there's no accident who we're going to meet and what we're really about to say. Very good. So people sometimes say, I can't explain these principles. If you want to, and you're open to it, and you have Holy Spirit speak to you, what should I say? What's the right thing to say to get this person to hear me or understand? This will come to you. There's no one that we couldn't actually share with. So there's no one we couldn't learn from, and there's no one we couldn't teach. I see it like that. Okay, anyone else want to say something about it?
I don't see any other hands up.
Okay,
I did though. I think this is very important. You know, how do we talk to people that are that? Well, first off, I have to assume that they are looking for God, just like I am. I have to assume
true.
that they are looking for the same love that I'm looking for. So I don't talk to them any differently than I talk to you or anyone else because I'm not going to say, oh, well, the world is not real, because I don't even know the world is not real. I'm
Right,
just saying that. I don't know the world is not real.
right. We don't know that. Right, exactly.
But I can talk to them about their situation and their feelings and be loving with them. And that doesn't take any kind of specialness. And they don't have to think, oh, what a holy person I'm talking to, because you're just a person talking to them like a normal person. So and that's what I have to understand. When we talk about purpose, we all have the same purpose,
Right,
whether we know it or not.
right,
We may have a different opinion about what that purpose is, but in reality, we all have the same purpose. And so, I honor that in a person.
right. That we
And
definitely are the same. Absolutely. We all have that purpose of forgiveness. And we're here to forgive a lot of things that are coming right in front of us, to the left, to the right, in front. There's so many things here that we could be forgiving, actually. And we are one. So we definitely, if this person is in front of you and they are asking for help or even just talking to somebody else and you hear, how could you be helpful here? To me, it's like there's no place that I won't go with it. But I do ask permission in most cases. Would you like me to, could we talk? I think we have something to share, or would you like me to be helpful with what I know? But I always see them the same way, that they all want to know God, that they're all one with me. I completely agree with you that they know the most important thing here is love, no matter what picture is in front of me. I know they know the most important thing here is love. And we are all challenged by what kind of lessons we get in front of us. Last time I spoke about my personal assistant that I had here for over 4.5 years, Morgan Hawthorne, who was shot by her boyfriend in an ego state in Detroit. And he wasn't where I live, in this very peaceful place, a college town named Bellingham, Washington, and in the West Coast, right near Seattle, between Seattle and Vancouver, Canada, very between there. And she used to live here, and then she moved to Michigan and Detroit, and in a very in a neighborhood that had a lot of crime. And he shot her because he was in the ego illusion that this is what nobody really knows for sure yet, because he hasn't really said, because he wanted her to be part of his possessiveness, in the sense that he owned her, and she wanted him to break up, and he didn't want her to, and so he killed her, to keep her only for himself. And this is something that I had to work with tremendously to first get over the shock in my ego mind, and to come to all types of forgiveness and peace and love, and see him in a loving way. And very similar to this shooting that occurred recently, where the wife forgave the shooter. I also had to go through something like that, and see him in his light, because I knew him, and it was a very big loss to me. I certainly love this person very much, and her family, and on so many levels of my life, because she was a right hand to me, to let go of this. And I'm basically coming to the part where now I really I'm contacting the DA and see if there's any way I can be helpful. But my purpose is always awakening to be my true self at 1 minute, to be with my true self. No matter what story I've been into with it, I'm still living in my truth with it. So it's very important to be always aware, where are we going with this? What's my purpose? In this case, forgiveness. Yes, it was very challenging, and it still is in many ways. Okay. Anyone else want to say something about their journey with the holy relationship? Okay, let's go.
no other hands.
Do I have no hands? No. Okay.
No
Let's
hands.
go to this piece here where it talks about the special relationship and the holy relationship.
Okay.
So besides myself, how many ever read Robert Perry's small pamphlet, Relationship as a Path to Enlightenment? So it's how many hands, do we see on that?
Oh, okay, Robert has one person.
Okay, Robert. I would say I must have read this book, at least I went over parts of it, a minimum of 100 times to be clear on, the differences and to read all the quotes that he has in it. And I loved his work with this book. And as I said, my interest in holy relationships is one thing I can say for sure. It's the fastest process back to who you truly are. So when you have a holy relationship process that you're doing at 100%, you're absolutely moving the closest you're going to come to releasing the most ego and awakening, because everything that will happen between you will cause you to actually think, feel, and believe your ego, and then to find a process like my clearing process to release it. So that's why it's such an important process. It's the fastest way back to God and who you really are in a holy relationship. And that's why I had a holy relationship training for 30 years, in which I matched partners that didn't have partners. And we did a training from, say, 2.5 days to 3 weeks. And the 3-week long holy relationship was one of the most exciting things I've ever done in my life. To be part of it, to watch people awaken in it, to watch all the processes that we went through. Yeah, it was probably my favorite thing to do. If someone said, would you like to go around the world or be in the 3-week holy relationship process with 60 people like you've been, I would say I'll choose the holy relationship process with the 60 people, and someone else can take the journey around the world, because this is the whole process of awakening in this room. Okay. All right. So we're going to do what we did last time. We had people read. So we're going to go down the special relationship, and we'll take hands. Okay. And I'll start with people that I know that are on the call. So we're just going to read a short piece, and then the next person will read a piece. How about we start with Mickey on the special relationship?
Okay, I'm going to give it a shot. It's kind of small. The special relationship creates and fosters separation. I think
Correct.
there is something wrong with me. Therefore, I think there is something wrong with you.
Right. So in order to be in special relationship, which is a relationship in which I'm trying to fulfill someone's perceived lack of love by giving them something that I think that they didn't have, like their mother's love, their father's approval, in the bargain that they will give me something that I never had. Okay? So it's an actual bargain. And I have to think there's something missing over there in them in order to fulfill something. And if I think there's something missing in them, and that's my perception, then I absolutely think there's something missing in me, because I couldn't see it over there as a mirror if I didn't see it in me. Okay, good. All right, so then we could take the next person. How about Rocky? Characteristics of the special relationship. Can you read there, Rocky?
Yeah, hang on.
Do
Okay.
you need to make it
Characteristics of
bigger?
what?
Do you need me to make it bigger?
No,
Yeah.
I got my
Can you?
glass.
Can
Okay.
you?
Let me think. Yeah, I think I can. Let's see. Hang on. Let me just do this real quick and see if I can't make it bigger, because I don't want people to have trouble with the reading, if you know what I mean. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. Not that one, but no, not that one. All right. I'm going to make this 125%. All right. And then I'm going to make it full screen. Okay. All right. This hopefully this will be a lot better.
No, that's smaller.
No, I'm going to do this. That make it any bigger?
Little bit, not much.
Okay. Can you see it? Can you read?
I got my glasses on. I can handle it.
Okay, go ahead.
Characteristics of the special relationships include sacrifice, attraction of guilt, special love, special hate, fear of losing the person, projection of person from past resentment, grievances, ego attack and defense, justifying everything.
Right. So these are the things that go on in the special relationship, that the person feels like they're making a sacrifice for the other person, that we're actually attracted to keep thinking that we're guilty. Like the attraction of guilt is a very, very powerful force in the human mind. That we also feel like this is our most special person and they are the best person we could ever have. But if we love them at a certain level, then we can also hate them at that certain level because it becomes like they're the only one that can satisfy me in this way. Okay? And then
What
we
if,
go
what
ahead.
if, I'm just saying, what if you just love them unconditionally? That was the situation that I had for almost 40 years with my wife. It
Right.
was
That's only
unconditional love. There was never any of the
right.
other stuff.
That's on the other side of the chart.
Oh,
That
I
would
see.
be in the
Okay.
holy
I
relationship.
get
This
it.
is
Thank you.
about the characteristics of a special relationship. And the main goal is to look at differences in a special relationship and to create and foster separation. Okay? So we have one of the things that's characteristic of the whole special relationship is a fear of rejection, a fear of losing this person. If I don't act this way and give them this or that, they'll leave me and I'll be abandoned. And that is foremost in the whole thinking of the special relationship. And then there's a projection of what I see, what I have going on from my past partners or my family, and I'm projecting anything that I didn't clear onto this person. So I'm actually seeing this person as if they almost are the person that I'm healing from in my family. That's why it says projection of the person from the past onto this person. Right? And then resentment and grievances, attack and defense. Right. And whenever we're attacking, we're defending. Whenever we're defending, we're attacking. And wanting to do everything, justifying everything. I always have a story of why I did this and why I did that and why I said that and what you said and I was right and you were wrong. So this is all part of, instead of just being and fully communicating, I'm always justifying as if I'm guilty and trying to prove my innocence. So that's a very, very important part. Okay, would you like to call on a person, since I can't see the names of the people on my screen? Would you call on someone to read the next sentence, Rocky? Can you call on it? Yeah.
I will read.
Okay, good.
Okay, so he
That
just
one?
read what's, can you guys see it better now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. All right. So the
I was-
special relationship is about trying to fulfill the other's perceived lack of love or quote unquote whole.
Or missing piece. About
Yeah.
Actually, that's the goal of it. I am trying to make this person better, fix them by giving them something that I perceive they need in the hope that they're going to give me something that I think I need. And therefore, we have what I call an unsaid bargain, which means we probably never say this, but it's right there in the bargain. Okay, good. Let's take the next person.
I think Rico wants to read.
Great.
If you're reading, you're muted. Muted.
And I thought this was a telepathy session. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Developing a special relationship is a bargaining process. You give me what I think I need, and I'll give you what you think you need.
Right. And every time we're in that, we can see we have characteristics. Even if we're having a holy relationship, we can have characteristics in it of the special relationship. And that is one of the characteristics, this bargain, this fixing, this trying to improve them and make them the way you think they should be or could be. Okay, let's take the next person. How about a volunteer?
I can read.
For instance,
For instance, you perceive them as sexier, richer, more famous, more powerful, or more intellectual. If you have them as a partner, then you can get all of their special characteristics. Your lack can be that you believe you were not loved enough or that you are not successful, so you choose a partner who seems to fill that hole for you or has made it in the area, and now you believe you have because they are with you.
Right. And it could be anything that our ego thinks we're lacking, whether we got the right degree in school, or they have more money, or they have a better house, or they have a better body, or they're more sexy, or they're more healthy. So the ego has always made up a story on what they think that they're trying to get from this other person to prove that they are good enough and that they have what the other person has. And that's a very important characteristic of the special relationship, going after something in the ego illusion. Okay, let's take the next one. Okay, can you call on someone? Because I can't see the names.
I can read.
Great.
However, if they don't give it to you exactly the way you want it, softly in the right place, up, down, over, the right color, make my coffee the right way, you won't give it to them the way they want it, then the relationship is over, or you're always angry or annoyed, thinking you deserve to have your perceived needs met.
Right, and then the next thing that the person will say, I'm going on to someone else who can give me what I need, or wants to give me exactly what I need, because you're not doing it. So it's a relationship about fulfilling someone's need. And need comes from the ego illusion that we're lacking something. So we can never actually fulfill someone else's need because they made it up. So only they could fulfill it. Only they could fill it because they see it as their need. So no two ego illusion in ourselves can we kind of share this, because I have my own ego illusion and they have their own ego illusion. So it can't actually meet in that way. It's always going to be missing. I'm always not going to get my perceived need met. And even if I get it met, then one day they might forget to continue to give it to me in the way that they had I thought they agreed to. And then once that hits the point, like if we agreed that every morning they would come to me with a coffee with one sugar lump and a bagel with cream cheese and lox, and with a napkin and a flower, and they would hand it to me. And if they didn't hand me that breakfast, they had 4 others that I loved. So they would bring me breakfast and I would eat it in bed. And then I would, when they came home from work, I had cleaned the house, I had made the dinner. I'd also gone to my job, but I also done all those other things. I did the wash, I made the dinner. So we have these agreements. And if he doesn't fulfill that first agreement in the morning with that coffee cup, then I'm thinking right now, immediately, the relationship is over. He doesn't love me anymore. He's not going to be there. I don't need to be there when he gets home. I won't be there with the dinner. I won't have cleaned the house, because this thing is very easily toppled. It can be over in a minute over something very small. And we've seen that many, many times. Okay, let's take the next person who would like to read. We have another reader?
Yeah, I'm impatient. Being in this type of relationship is like trying to fill up the Grand Canyon with a teaspoon. Even if you did manage to do it, the way our ego mind works, you would decide that there was some mistake, the wrong sand or spoon, or it wasn't the right way, or maybe it didn't feel right, or maybe you shouldn't have been the one filling the hole.
Right. So that idea with a Grand Canyon with a spoon, it's never going to be right. We can't fulfill this perceived lack or hole because it's not true. So no matter what I put into it, and no matter I get to it, it's never going to be enough. And that's what people say in the relationship. I didn't have enough. You didn't give me enough. You didn't do it the right way. Yeah, that's very important here. Okay. We take the next person. Can you call on yourself? That's always possible here, in the sense that it's wonderful that everybody could take a turn to read a little piece.
I'll read again. So a typical example of a special relationship can be the married couple where the man provides the money and the woman cleans the house and is sexy for her husband slash partner. That is their bargain. And man, that is a sick bargain.
Right. And that was a very old paragon. The world is changing in that paragon, but it was an original paragon, say going back 30 or 40 years. And some people still have this as a paradigm about this bargain. But it also in prisons. Whenever we have a bargain, I am seeing you as lesser than. And if I see you as lesser than, you see me as lesser than, because mirror always works together. And that if my bargain is to fix something in you, you're always going to want to escape. So all special relationships are in danger of breaking up because of this prisoner-like idea that I'm not seeing you as whole and complete. I'm seeing you in the opposite way, as needing fixing, and that there's something wrong with you. And with that idea, everyone will want to break free, and the chance of the relationship breaking up is very probable. So all special relationships could be transformed into holy ones. And sometimes when we do that, even the Course says this, that we'll feel like we're losing something, but we're getting something lesser than we had before, because before we had a confirmed bargain, we thought. Now we might be getting something lesser. Okay, we're on the other side of the chart. Okay, we'd like a person to read.
I can read. I have my retainer on, but I'll do my best.
Okay, thank you. Who is
The
that?
Holy Renee.
Oh, Renee, thank you.
Okay, the holy relationship creates and fosters joining on the move the arrows in the way, Lynn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm reading it on YouTube because it's bigger on my iPad, so
Oh,
I'm
okay.
delayed. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, it's a little delayed. Let me just use my phone. Okay, the holy relationship creates and fosters joining and oneness.
Right, and
see
that's
black.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. One second, that's so important. The idea of we're always joined and we're always in oneness. Keep going.
I see no lack over here. I am completely who I am in love, and I see the same over there.
Right. So what I see, if I see no lack over there, I'm also seeing no lack over here. I'm completely myself, and my goal is to be living in love. Okay. Can you continue reading this part?
Characteristics of the holy relationship include giving and receiving, innocence, unconditional love, extension, forgiveness, truth, healing, reality.
Right. So I'm always extending love. I'm always extending peace. I'm always extending oneness. That is what I'm acting and seeing in the whole relationship. So also the Course says, if I can go through all my ego thoughts and release them with this one person, and my judgments and my grievance with this one person represents all the sonship. So if I could do it with this one person, and it's quite challenging to take back all my grievances, all my projections, all my fears, all my guilt. I can have done it with any person in this sonship, because we're all one. So one represents the totality. Okay, we need another person to read.
And before we read on, I just want to comment that I love these qualities of the holy relationship. The giving and receiving, the innocence, nobody's wrong, unconditional love, no matter what, extension, instead of being locked in itself, forgiveness, gigantic, truth, healing, and reality. I love those qualities. Thank you for sharing that.
Me too. Me too. I feel excited when I read these words. It's like I wake up. Okay, let's have another person read another sentence. Thank you for saying that.
I can read. I see that I am innocent, and I see that in my partner. I see myself as perfect, and I will see that you are perfect too in who you are. I know that we are one and that we are in our essence perfect.
Right, and this is so exciting. If I were writing it over, I would put perfect in big letters, capitals, because it's true. We see ourselves as the perfect beings of light and love and a part of God. This is so important in confirming that in myself and confirming that in my partner. Okay, we go on. Who'd like to read next?
We agree to have a joint purpose, such as to release our negative past and live 100% in love that we both want.
Right. And that's one of the ones I actually had in my holy relationship list. So, so, what we agree upon, as I said before a little while ago, has to inspire us and that we feel we can remember it. So if someone asks, what is your joint holy relationship purpose? We always can remember it. We don't have to look for a paper and see, what did I write down here? If we agree on this purpose, it will be foremost in our mind and it'll be right there. Okay, let's take the next person.
I can read.
Great.
We are going to clear our barriers and hindrances to us coming to remember who we really are in true love. A Course in Miracles says, we are not here to seek for love, only to remove the barriers to love we have created within ourselves.
And to remember that we are love. I had a friend that I had, maybe my oldest friend goes back, let's say 50 years as an adult. I also have a friend that goes back 70 years as a child, and we have the same name. But my oldest friend that goes back to when I was in therapy many years ago at the Primal Institute, and he wanted to be friends with me. At a certain point, I said to him, I will be friends with, he always was in pain and he was always suffering. I will be friends with you and be completely excited to be friends with you if you could take my class called Choosing Freedom, the Way Out of All Pain and Suffering and the Way Back to Who You Truly Are. And I'm going to tell you right now that you would have to pay for the class. But if at the end of the class you didn't think it gave you value and you didn't like it, I will give you every dime back. And he said, well, why is that important to you? I said, because I can't be friends with you as long as you think you're your pain, your suffering, and that you never come out of it. And that I want to be with somebody who can see their pain, who can see their suffering, but know that's not who they really are. Otherwise, I will feel constantly that I can't relate to you and we're not really in the same world. And so he did it. And his greatest breakthrough into training, and he had a life-changing process in it. And before that, he had done $100,000, no exaggeration, worth of primal therapy at the Primal Institute where I was with him. And he actually paid that much. And he said in one class, he woke up to that. He was love, he was truth, and that he was the love that he was seeking in every relationship. He actually got that he was that love. And it was so enlightening to him. And he's been so inspiring all these years. He's been studying A Course in Miracles with me since he took the class, say maybe 40 years ago. And it's been so inspiring to watch his journey of awakening and releasing all his guilt, because he has had an amazing learning about his guilt. Okay, we are going on. Mm-hmm.
All right. Where are we at? Is it our job? Did we just
Yes, that's it. That's where we are.
Our job is to support our partner 100%, to go all the way and discover who they are and confirm only truth. Oh man, I just have to say that is probably the most important thing, is confirming only the truth about my brother, not the story that they tell or the story that I think, but the truth of what they are. So thank you. That's beautiful.
Right. And I want to say, as I started out to say, this is the only thing we need another person for. Because when I forget, when I enter my ego, it can be very powerful. We could go into a tremendous feeling. We can go into a tremendous thought. We can go into a tremendous belief. It can feel like it's so real. It's absolute truth. And we need another person to listen to us, to be right there with us. But at the same time, to hold the space. This is definitely not the truth. And when I'm going to get a chance, I'm going to remind that person of who they really are and that this is part of their egoic process of releasing this whole story. And I have a part of my clearing that goes, thank you, it's not the truth. It's a story that you made up a long time ago when you were small. And right now, since you are who you are and you get who you are, you can release that story right now because it doesn't serve you anymore. You are love, you are peace, you are joy, you are oneness. So my clearing at every point confirms this big T truth. And that's one of the reasons I love the clearing. The most important part of the clearing, it's a 3-step process described in my book called I Just Want Peace. Maybe you can see it. Okay, and she'll show it at the end maybe. Is this part where I confirm, or the person holding the space confirms back to the person who they really are, which goes deep into the ego, guilt, self, and the cells of the body, and actually clears the space. And it's like an awakening. And that's why I love the clearing so much. And I get a chance in my lifetime to do many clearings, and I'm excited by that. Okay, we have the last one for somebody to read. We need one person.
I can read.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we do not agree with or collude on any perceptions and projections in the present which came from the past. We help our partner find them and release them through forgiveness. This requires a little willingness. At certain moments, it may feel like it requires a lot of willingness when you want to be right.
Because what we want to be right about can be extremely negative. Right. And when we get into that, it takes a lot of skill and listening and holding the space of our true nature and this person's true nature to help them let go of wanting to be right or thinking they are right. Because I can be right about something very negative, but I can also be unhappy, and it will separate us. So I have to know that the joining of us and the oneness of us is more, and the happiness of us and the joy of any of us together is more important than anything I ever want to be right about. So that can be anything. Of course, we're all very, I would say, a challenge today in the world of politics about what we think, feel, and believe, and even in the whole way we see the world. So it's a question of what my ego thinks, and then what I know the truth to be. And yeah, I'm holding both sides because we have a split mind if we think we have a body. So I always must everything what I ever see on television or what I hear on the news, I always take it over for the last part is what is the truth? After I think whatever I think, feel, and believe, and then what is the truth of this? What would Course Miracle say is the truth is? What is it that I've learned for years is the truth? So it's kind of like I get to wake up from watching the whole thing on a moment by moment basis. It's awakening every moment. Okay, would anybody like to say anything about their what they saw on the relationship? What's your takeaway? Would anybody like to say their takeaway? We have about, there's my book, I Just Want Peace. I spent 10 years writing this book so that I could explain my process to anyone who either was my student or to a new person who doesn't even know what the process is. So this book actually is a guide to clearing your ego mind and awakening. So I love writing the book, and I love even reading the book today when I read it myself. I think, wow, this is fantastic, quite honestly. All right. Would anyone like to say their takeaway and say your name when we call on you? Okay. Okay. I think we have a person right there would like to say a takeaway.
Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, Robert is saying, please let us know about your upcoming holy relationship workshops or retreats, so that we can know if there's something available. I know you do them a lot. You're always busy.
I am
So
always busy, Bob. You're right. You're right. I'm always busy. That's true. I'll be retiring when I expire. Would anyone like to say their takeaway and I will let you all know when I have one. I'm considering one in Costa Rica, January 3rd to 10th. I'm considering those dates in a place in Costa Rica called Mystica. I'm considering that.
all right,
Okay.
Rocky has his hand up.
Okay.
Yeah, keeping it as simple as possible. It's just the best point of view I can come from. It's just loving everybody and seeing that they are the divine love that they are. As soon as I'm not seeing them as a person, but the divine love, there's no judgment at all. And the other thing is, if they're going through hell, if they're having a tough time, if they're screaming, if they're angry, if they're full of anguish or grief or whatever, if I silently just stand there or sit there and just in my head, just keep saying, in my heart, keep saying, I love you, 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 I love you. The love that I am, that's in me, and the love that's in them connects it automatically. And in a few minutes, their whole demeanor changes. And I've been doing that for a long time. And it's KISS, keep it simple, sweetheart. And it works not most of the time, it works all of the time. Thank you.
Yeah, I would say it's working even when it doesn't appear it's working. because it's truth. And it is truth that we love ourselves and we love everyone. And for me not to see that is to be sleeping in my own way. So that love wakes up, love heals. Love heals. All the love we're extending to ourselves and to everyone, even in this group, and all our friends on ACIM Gather, and all our friends all over the world. We're all one. So yeah, it's holding the space of truth is love in each person, that I will see you as divine love. That is so empowering and so awakening. Is there anybody else who'd like to say something about?
Yes,
John
I would-
Sunday and Rico.
Sandy, I do want to say a couple of things. The first is just to hear your voice and listen to the authentic, authoritative tone that you speak with from the knowledge base that you have is so inspiring and refreshing to me. I'm super grateful, thankful, and blessed to have you in my life today. Oh God, and for all these years. So thank you for that. And my takeaway is just a reminder again, is what you just said a minute ago about what is the truth of all this stuff I'm seeing on YouTube? What's the truth of all this stuff I'm hearing, from my friends, or the gloom and doom and blue, or whatever stuff that I just have to ask, what is the truth? And I can do that every moment. But thank you so much. I salute you and honor you with all my heart and soul. Thank you, Sandy.
Me too. Me too. Same here. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you. And Rico?
Yes, ma'am. First and foremost, I got to tell you, Sandy, I love you and I love everything you do. But my takeaways, my aha moments that sort of rocked me was the qualities of the holy relationship and the agreement. The agreement speaks to my soul.
Beautiful. Me
Feel
too.
that
Me
way
too.
about another human being, regardless of the type of relationship is, and to hold that kind of bonding and agreement, and we're on the same path, is like heaven. It's like kissing John Sunday, just like heaven.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Kissing on Sunday is like heaven. That's true. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Well, I
Can
want
we
to say
contact you by emails, Sandy?
my email is on purpose. That's
No,
the
I
name
think
of my
I have it. I'm saying, is it okay to contact you?
Oh, I'm saying anybody can call me on my home number, and I think we have it there, 360-527-2796. That's my home office. And I'm in PST time, 3 hours earlier than you. And you can email me at onpurpose@sandylevy.com. I have a website, Sandy Levy, Levey. That's different about my name. And on my cell phone, 360-739-4602. And I will tell you, anytime you contact me, I always answer. So if I don't answer, it means I didn't get the message. But I answer all communications. I have even 3 people helping me so that I surely don't forget it. Okay.
I had
Anyone
a
else?
dream. I had a dream, Sandy, that me, Rick, and Heather came up to Billingham, Washington to do a workshop. So beware.
Okay. Well, we'd love to have you. And anytime I have a group that wants to do one, I create one. So I always build a workshop around 1 or 2 people. That's what motivates me to do it. That's this person wants to take it or this group wants to take it. I'm ready to do it. Yep, always. And I have my team because I don't work alone. I have a whole power of commitment and power of clearing coaches that travel with me. Some are in the United States, some are in Europe, some in different parts of the world. So we always have a team of trained coaches wherever this training goes because it's personal. It's in depth. It's an in-depth piece. Okay, anyone else?
Last question. What
Yeah.
part of Costa Rica are you going to do the workshop in?
It's near where Diedrich, near Lake Arenal, near where Diedrich Bolsack has his Choose Again.
Okay,
But
northern
it's about
part.
10 minutes away from him because I went there 3 times to see Diedrich Bolsack, who's like a brother to me. He says I'm like his sister, but it's not near. It's not in his place. It's in a very special retreat.
I know the
Yeah.
area. I'm going to be in touch with you to see when you're going down there.
Okay, very good, very good.
Oh, I
Anyone
love
else?
it. Yay. I did put your information in the chat, and
Good.
people can copy that and got your everything from your signature line from your email. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. All
Uh,
right. It's been wonderful to be here and to speak with you. And if they want me, you all want me to talk on another subject, I have a lot of other subjects that I love about this book. And I've loved it. I mean, I love that people are interested to awaken with me in the sense that we're all sharing the same knowledge here. We all have the same love, which is, love and joining and oneness. And every time we think that we're not in holy relationship with someone, we're making actually an error probably in our thinking, because if we think about it, there is someone that we're in holy relationship with. I'm in holy relationship with all my pets even. I have 6 of these birds, which you're always hearing them singing, and they're always flying when we're doing this event on this recording. And I have this amazing rescue dog named Balto, who's named after the hero who rescued a whole town in Alaska. And he is a pure Karen Terrier. So I have a complete relationship with him on all levels. Yeah. So we just don't see that we're doing it, but we are in this holy relationship with many more people than we're actually acknowledging. Okay,
Absolutely.
so
Thank
I'm
you.
going to say good night to you all in the sense you're getting ready. And I'm now, you know what I'm going to do now? I am going to Kirtan. And
Ooh, how fun.
yeah, and we're having Kirtan about 5 minutes away, and they're probably thinking on my coming. And I'm going to be chanting and doing all the working with people with the harmonium and the drums. So that's where I'm going now. I'm going out to celebrate this event. I'm going to Kirtan.
Wonderful. I love kirtan. I have my drums and my harmonium here.
Wow, fantastic.
It's one of my favorite things. I
Me
don't do
too.
it
Me too.
so
Me
much,
too.
my voice is gone. But anyway, I love you guys so much.
Thank you
And
for letting me
thank
see you,
y'all.
John, Sunday.
Okay. You take care. We'll see you again.
Rick, I got to feed the dogs and I'll be over after.
Okay. All right. You take care. You take care,
Love
everyone.
you guys.
Okay. Be
Bye
well.
all.
Thanks again, everyone. Thanks for participating. Night.
Good night. I love you.